2-1. Welcome to Loquera Futbolera. This is Kicks,
It's Charlie.
And I'm Ollie.
and we are here to report on the trending news in the Liga MX right now. Charlie, would you like to start it off?
Yes, before we start and talk into detail about this, make sure you like and subscribe. You hit the little notification, little bell, so that you guys are up to date on what we have to talk about. So, um, with that in mind, I'm going to start and say that the biggest news of today was Chicharito was finally announced officially to join his
Vamos!
his club where he originated from, Chivas de Guadalajara. What are your thoughts, guys?
I think it's awesome for the league. I think it's amazing. Oliver, I didn't mean to cut you off if you were going to say something. But I think it's amazing. I think it's great for the league that he's coming back home. Start with that.
Yeah, Ollie.
I'm just excited to see a good striker back in Chivas,
Yeah,
It's what we needed.
exactly. With these two games already played in this tournament, you see the lack of strikers or finish. We have strikers, but we lack finishing. And I think with Chicharo being un jugador que llega al área fácil y puede terminar una jugada, that's the guy that you need, right?
He's a number 9. He is the poacher. He is a classic number 9 that you don't really see in modern football today.
He's a born killer in that area for sure. And I think in general, it is amazing to have Chicharito back. One thing to always mention is that he promised Jorge Vergara, rest in peace, that he would come back to that team. And he kept his promise. It might be 35 years old, but I mean, he still has a lot to give to that team for sure.
I do agree with that. And one thing that I'm happy to say is that this is not the first time, right? Mexican player has came back to Liga MX after their spell in Europe. In Chicharito's case, it was Europe and MLS. But the fact that he came back home, that's what to me, that's something that like. He's not really in it for the money. He could have joined Tigres. He could have joined America. He could have joined Monterrey, but he didn't. He came back home.
He kept his promise. Yeah. And another thing, right? You might emphasize and say, he came back from Europe to the Americas, but to MLS first. And you could say, well, that's still
it was a new challenge. It was a new challenge for him.
Yeah. I mean, like he liked the challenge. Is something I think on a personal level, like it was interesting at that time. He still had a good contract financially, and he was still able to, maybe prove to the league that he was still one of the top scorers in the world, right? Because
well, let me ask Oliver this question. Okay. Oliver, I know you're a huge Chicha fan. Yeah. Who did he come to replace in LA Galaxy?
Zlatan, right?
Exactly.
He replaced Zlatan.
He came to replace Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to find success in LA Galaxy, but I think he still had a lot to show.
I feel like he found some success. However, it didn't translate to what he was used to, because he was used to being in the national team and like being just a star forward. And after that, when he joined Galaxy, there was a lot of turmoil in his life that just kind of brought him down a couple levels.
Yeah.
Again, he's still a great player. So
agreed. All right. So what can we expect, right? Chivas fans, Liga MX fans, Mexican fans. What can we expect from Chicharito at Chivas?
You want to start it, Ollie?
Go ahead.
I don't know. It's kind of a bold claim, but I think he will get top league scorer for Liga MX.
First season in this first season back.
First season, because he's just a poacher, Yes. Like it doesn't matter where he is. If he's in the box, like he'll finish it. And I think finishing is something that Mexico also lacked in the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Yeah.
Agreed.
What about you, Kike?
That's a good claim. Obviously, if he stays fit, I don't see that being a unreasonable, suggestion. If he stays fit, right, that's the biggest thing. But look, we have, as we mentioned, we haven't mentioned, but I'm gonna mention we have 14 league games, right, left. We have Friday's game against Cholos, He's not going to play because there's going to be a presentación en el Akron on Saturday, so for sure he can't play Friday. So after that, there's 14 league games left. Okay, in 14 league games, I'm going to throw it out there. He's going to score at least what I expect from him, a goal every other game. 7 goals. 7 goals at the end of this season. That may be enough to, this is just tiempo, like the league. This is not with La Liguilla. So that's 7 goals. That's what I expect from him. I think his impact will be more a little bit off the field more than on the field. So
yeah. I had to agree for sure. As a Chivas fan, I want to be very optimistic and say, he can get 9 to 10 goals. Like how we were used to seeing him in Chivas. However, there's a lot of things that time will define as we go every week. Realistically speaking, for other people that are not Chivas fans, they're gonna say his level of involvement in the field might be a little bit less than that. It might be 5 to 6 goals, and in the end, it still be pretty good. Considering that Chivas is lacking like finishing
goals
in the last 3 seasons, we haven't had a forward that has scored 5 to 6 goals. We had Cisneros, we had Marin, and these guys that
Chelo
have been struggling. Saldívar,
Well, I think the last one we can agree on was El Alan Pulido, right? When we won. 2017. So
and we had a lot of hopes with Macias, but with injuries and everything, he's been
still
out
young.
But if we have Macias and Chicharito, I think potentially we can finally be that Chivas that has 2 forwards starting instead of having 1 forward.
Yeah.
So
so then we can all agree.
So no dynamic duo.
Yeah, of course.
So we can all agree. Our expectations, our goals.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's the other thing: transitioning, right? Because we're gonna talk about what's like the biggest transfer, either Guardado or Chicharito, right? That's the next topic. Going into that, I would say that Chicharito, being 35 instead of 37, and considering that the league is only 6 months for or less, but you play 2 tournaments a year. Chicharito can potentially, if we're being optimistic, because Atlas won a bicampeonato, why can't Chivas or America or any of the other big teams?
It's possible.
Chivas can win a bicampeonato and like be right on tie contender with America, Well, and that's what I'm saying. He has the time to do it.
Charlie, let me ask you this: when Chicharito left Chivas in 2010, which is 14 years ago. When Chicharito left Chivas, what was the rivalry like between Chivas and America?
Well, the thing is, he left as a leading goal leading scorer, right?
That's number one.
And on top of that, Chivas was already ahead of America in titles. So
a lot changed.
But if you consider it, it's been 14 years, and in those 14 years, America has only won 2 more than Chivas, and you're America, the super powerful America that always is a contender to win it, and you only have 2 more than Chivas in 14 years. I mean, that's really
it is. But I'm gonna throw this out there. How many finals have they played in as well? Or at least, let me say this: how many times have they been top 4? Which is something Chivas should. That's one thing I'm gonna give credit to America. I do agree with you that it's only 2 titles, but America do compete in every tournament, in every league.
Let me tell you another thing that's positive about America, right? In the championships that they actually have faced, they've probably only lost like 1 or 2 in the last. In the last 5 or 6 championships that they've gone into, they've lost to Tigres, I believe, and I don't remember the last time maybe Pachuca. I believe Pachuca beat them in a final.
Monterrey did it. Monterrey. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Monterrey did. Yeah. Monterrey with Antonio Mohamed as a coach. Yeah. I do remember. But outside of that, they're really good at finishing the championships. They know how to win it.
Yeah.
It's just once they get to the final, that's the hardest thing. Semis is where they get stuck a lot.
Yeah. So let's see what happens. Oliver, we want to get your take. I mean, who do you think is the biggest transfer? Chicharito, Guardado?
I'm gonna be a little biased. I'm gonna say Chicha because that's my guy. Mexico's leading top goal scorer.
Chicharito broke the internet. Chicharito broke the internet the day that Chivas announced him. Okay, that's simple. Yeah. Andres Guardado was announced. Guess what? I started talking to some of my friends. I went on Instagram. Guess what? A lot of people didn't know.
Chicharito it got shadowed.
Yeah, and I'm not taking away from Andres Guardado. He's an amazing player. Did you see what Real Betis did for him?
The last game, right? Against Barcelona.
Yeah, he played in Europe for 17 years. That's amazing. That is all my hats off to you, Andres Guardado.
And if I'm not mistaken, isn't he already historic player for Betis with the most plays as a foreigner?
Yeah, most games as a foreigner. Yes.
So, okay, well,
he comes back something. A legend. He comes back a legend.
A legend as a European player and as a captain for the national team.
Yes. So I'm excited for what La Clausura 2024 Liga MX has for us. And any final thoughts, guys?
It's just good to see, two Mexicans being praised like that,
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. It's good to see them come back home.
Yes. Yeah. Alrighty, guys. Make sure you follow us on TikTok, follow us on Instagram. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube. If you guys want to plug any of your personal stuff, you guys can.
No, man, just make sure you leave comments.
Yes.
We make sure to read them and, try to make a conversation out of it.
Yes, please. Yes. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see you guys next time.